The BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launcher, a mainstay in various conflicts all over the world since the 1960s that uses 122mm rockets, is also a staple in the Ukraine-Russia war for both sides. But in December 2023, a now viral moment captures a never-before-seen state of the system. The video shows the aftermath of the destruction of what remains of a BM-21 Grad launcher, now a mangled wreck. Its structure, once rigid and imposing, is now distorted beyond recognition. Amid the twisted metal, like a monstrous flower, the remnants hint at an abrupt and violent end. But the origins of this self-destructing war icon remain a mystery. Accidents occur frequently due to poor propellant quality, premature explosions, erratic range, or human error. But this haunting image speaks to a deeper narrative, one of desperation and dire shortcuts in the throes of conflict, of rockets with a clandestine journey from a nation defying international edicts. Is North Korea to blame? For decades, the alliance between Russia and North Korea has endured a complex mix of strategic interdependence and guarded distance, surviving the collapse of the Soviet Union and adapting to the shifting geopolitical landscape. But Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 has seemingly marked a new beginning for the two nations. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who has referred to the war as a sacred fight against Western imperialism, has even gone as far as supporting Russia by opposing United Nations resolutions condemning the invasion. In late July 2023, a large Russian delegation led by Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu arrived in the North Korean capital to attend the 70th anniversary of the end of the Korean War in 1953. The minister was greeted at an airport tarmac by a North Korean military official on a red carpet, complete with banners referring to him as Comrade Shoigu, in old-school fashion reminiscent of the long-gone Soviet era. During the event, the first visit by a foreign officer since the COVID-19 crisis, Kim Jong-un gave Minister Shoigu a defense exhibition tour showcasing North Korea's latest military technology advancements. This tour included a display of new weapons and military equipment, such as ballistic missiles, including models banned by international law, and multi-axle transporter launchers. The extensive media coverage of Shoigu's Pyongyang visit contained two main messages: that Russia and North Korea are allies, and that the primary focus of the meeting was Russia's war against Ukraine. But as wary international eyes watched these unfolding events, rumors hinted at a much deeper and more concrete military cooperation, far beyond mere diplomatic ties, especially as Russia faced artillery shell and ammunition shortages for its war, and North Korea is more than capable of producing them. Less than a month after the Russian defense minister's visit, in mid-August 2023, photographs of 122mm rockets, usually used in multiple rocket launchers like the BM-21 Grad, were spotted by analysts from the Ukraine weapons tracker. It was now official. North Korea was supplying weapons and ammunition to Russia to support its war effort in Ukraine during a critical shortage. This was further confirmed in October 2023. The White House reported that an estimated 2 months earlier, Russia received over 1,000 containers of munition from North Korea, with an estimated number of transferred shells at around 350,000 units. At the same time, South Korean intelligence reported that the number was closer to 1 million, divided into 10 batches. After the transfer became public knowledge, information about their use by Russian troops began to circulate online. Near the end of October, photos of 122mm and 152mm artillery shells appeared, and other images of 120mm also surfaced. With this, it's become clear to warfare analysts that North Korea is now supplying the Russian Federation with artillery ammunition. It is also confirmed that none of this munition was stored in warehouses where they had to wait their turn. Instead, it was immediately sent to the front. But as this ammunition began to be used on the front lines, issues with its quality started to surface. Since their delivery, Russian artillerymen from the front lines in Ukraine have often complained a lot about these foreign-made artillery shells supplied in a hurry. In early December, a random check of this ammunition shed light on serious issues. Determined to discover the source of their poor performance, a Russian military-themed communication channel investigated 5 randomly selected 152mm charges, complete with photographs as evidence. As it turned out, despite having the same marking, these charges all had different powders, and these powder bundles also had different weights. But the investigation turned even more disturbing. Some of the ammunition was missing a crucial component, a D-copper, a lead wire that helps keep the gun's barrel in good condition after repeated use. Some of the shells even had their airtight lids opened. The absence of lead wires in the munition charges can have a cascading negative effect on artillery operations. Without these wires, the gun barrels have increased signs of wear and tear, leading to decreased firing accuracy. This reduced precision means more ammunition is required to hit targets effectively, further exacerbating the gun's wear. As a result, artillery units face a snowballing challenge: the need for more munition, more frequent maintenance, and a reduction in overall combat effectiveness over time. The reasoning behind this absence is quite simple. It's a common practice amongst North Korean workers who have no money or resources, and often steal everything they can from the factory for their profit. Meanwhile, the use of different powders in the analysis can be explained by North Korea's isolated status, pushing it to scrap components for powder production from wherever possible, reflecting the overall quality of the final product. It seems like North Korea is placing quantity over quality control. With all of these errors observed in only 5 random shells, with such a small sample, it can be assumed that this ammunition has a systematic error. In the future, all these issues can lead to an avalanche of consequences. Following the investigations, as well as claims that these North Korean-supplied shells are injuring Russian soldiers and damaging gun barrels, an incredible incident of a rocket launcher perhaps connected to these faulty rockets has gone viral online. Photographs and a video were shared on social network X by a user who is said to work as an analyst for the United States research organization Center for Naval Analyses. In the video, which has since been viewed over 250,000 times, a lone soldier films the shattered remains of a Russian BM-21 Grad MRL, seemingly frozen at the moment of its own destruction, likely thanks to a faulty ammunition detonation. As the shot pans in on the destroyed vehicle, the Russian-speaking soldier laughs and says, quote, "Well, hello, little one. Everything is rotten. It happens. In this weather, everything rots quickly. Looks like you were fully loaded when blowing up." The haunting footage shows the Soviet-designed multiple-launch rocket system, which uses 122mm rockets, charred and twisted beyond recognition. The launcher's now rusted innards sprawl outward, looking more like an avant-garde sculpture than a tool of war. Whether or not the crew was inside remains unknown. It also remains unclear whether the man was a Russian saboteur, a defector, or a Russian-speaking Ukrainian. While concrete evidence is elusive, there is a possibility that North Korean-made ammunition may have been the cause of the BM-21 Grad's destruction. This incident mirrors the unpredictable nature of war, where unlike the Allies' contributions can unexpectedly influence the battlefield's rhythm. Despite the incident and the investigation, since the original acquisition of North Korean-made ammunition, Russia has escalated its use in the new year. Citing newly declassified information, the White House reported they'd used short-range ballistic missiles to conduct multiple strikes against Ukraine in the last days of 2023 and the first days of 2024. According to John Kirby, National Security spokesperson, the United States will surely raise this sudden development with the United Nations Security Council, calling this arms transfer a significant and concerning escalation. Days later, the United States and partners like the UK, the EU, Australia, Germany, Canada, and nearly 40 other partner nations released a joint statement condemning the arms transfers between North Korea and Russia, including the use of ballistic missiles. Quote, "We are deeply concerned about the security implications that this cooperation has in Europe, on the Korean Peninsula, across the Indo-Pacific region, and around the world." To this day, Moscow and Pyongyang have denied conducting any arms deals. However, the summer 2023 vow between Defense Minister Shoigu and Kim Jong-un to deepen military relations raises questions about the veracity of their official stance.